Assignment 2, Video 5. In this video, we'll take a look at how to create spot elevations and group them as well in a point group. We last left off with a new point group called existing grid elevations that was populated with the existing grid points that we created. So our next step, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the current layer to existing spot point, and I'm going to turn off the grid points and the grid elevations or the grid labels so that it clears up the drawing a little bit and we can start from here. So the next step is to go up to points, go down to surface, and we'll click on random points. At this stage right here with your object snap to endpoint, we can simply click on the first endpoint there. AutoCAD will again ask us for a description. At this point we can hit enter, and then all we have to do is just select all the endpoints and carry on until all these are created. By doing this and grouping them in the appropriate point group, elevations will appear at all the corners of the lots. Now, just to recap while I'm clicking on these endpoints here, what we had to do was bring in the 3D CAD points into Civil 3D, making sure they were exploded. Convert the 3D CAD points to Kogel points, and then we grouped it into a group called existing topo elevations. And once we did that, we were able to create a surface called existing ground. After we create the surface, AutoCAD or Civil 3D is able to interpolate what the points are that don't fall exactly on the I guess the topo elevation points. So you need that surface for AutoCAD to I guess interpolate the corner points that we're selecting now. So what you'll find as you go through this seems tedious, but this number of lots here, it doesn't really take that much time, and you're just simply clicking and hitting enter. As you can see, almost done. Very good. This last point right here falls outside the boundary. So when you click on that, you won't be able to select it because it falls outside the surface that was created. Therefore, AutoCAD can't interpolate what that elevation of that point is. So there'll be no point on there. After that, we hit enter, or we hit escape to enter selection set, and all the points at the corner of each lot has been created. Next step is to go to the point group, right click, and create a new point group. Under the information tab, existing spot elevation. In order to determine what point numbers to use to include, we'll go to our point groups first. We'll go to all points, then go to a point list, and if you recall, the grid point ended at 1045, so we're going to start with 1046. That much should be obvious. You can verify that, seeing that our 1045 ends at 1330 and 1200. 1046 starts at 1000, 1000 again, and then to determine what our last point is, it would be 1161. So then we can go to our point groups, uncheck the all points, go to include with numbers matching 1046 to 1161. Then we go back to our point list. We can see that it ends at 1161 and it starts at 1046. Now, depending on how many times you had to bring in points or if you made any mistakes and deleted points, your numbers might vary slightly, but the number of points should be the same. Okay, so we're going to go back to our information here and take a look at our point styles. If you see the, right now it's calling existing grid point. Again, we're just going to copy that current selection, rename it to spot point, go to the marker and check, and I believe this, I think it gets switched to the X, but verify with the assignment sheet. We'll go to the display. This here I know switches to existing spot point. This one here, existing spot label. Click on apply. Go back to and click on OK. We can see that this has changed. Next step is to change the existing grid label. So we'll copy the current selection again, switch this to spot label. Under the General tab, we switch the layer to existing spot label. Under the Layout, we switch the rotation angle to 45 degrees. And I believe if we just click on Apply, OK, everything should be good. We click on Apply and OK, and we can see that indeed it has taken on the proper form. So this concludes how to create spot elevations at the corner of each lot.